White. Here. Grayson.
Here.
Shante Alexander.
Here.
Mosley.
Here, we'll start off by being led in prayer by Dr. Alexander and pledged by Zach Grayson.
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for being God all by yourself. We come here, Lord, to do the work of our city. We ask you to help us to do a better job with looking after the members of our city. We thank you for your blessings upon those who serve in the city in all capacities. And we ask, oh God, that you would help us to open ourselves that your will might be done one for another. We thank you, Lord, for this day. We thank you for all that's good. And we just thank you for who you are. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have two, you guys. I have, for citizen comments, there's a Chris Bruner and Austin Bernston, and you're going to be talking about the Frisbee golf. Right now, if you speak, you have a 3-minute time frame. If you want to talk about the agenda item at that moment, you'll have a little more time to discuss the project and such. Would you want to wait a few minutes then? Okay, let's just do that then, so you have a little more time. Item 3, council communications.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. I want to, I participated in the Citizens Police Academy, and I was very impressed about the way it was done, and I will admit in full transparency, it's not because of the person, the lieutenant who led it, but it was well done, and whatever support that we can give as a council to continue that, I'm for it. And I urge those who are not familiar with it to become familiar with it, because it really was an opportunity to share with citizens the working of city government. They brought in various individuals from law enforcement to lawyers to attorneys to just giving us a sense of really what goes on in our city to make it a place that we all can be proud of. But so I just want to say I couldn't attend every session because of school and other responsibilities, but whatever we need to do to make that continue, we need to do it.
All right,
So
that was great.
Thank
I know, Zach, you,
I'll second what Dr. A is saying, and Kelly was also a part of it. It's my second time to do it, and it was good the first time, and it was way better this time.
Yeah.
As far as thought out the process and who you got to talk to. The DA section, Jason Hicks actually came and spoke to our little group, so that was pretty impressive that he took time out and actually came and spoke. So
very good.
I have one other.
Yes, sir.
The train, not the plane, but the train. It's still, I know we say we can't do anything about it, but it's still a nuisance. It's staying 5-6 hours, and it's quite regular. It's an issue, and it's a concern.
Yeah, I'd gotten a toll-free number to call to report that blocks the tracks. I think I emailed all the council members, didn't I? Do you remember? I'll dig it back up again, and I'll send you that number again. It's for citizens to use. You have it too? The toll-free number?
Yes.
Can you send it out to everybody then?
Yes.
Okay, you can send it out to
That way I
constituents
can,
also.
yeah, I can, yeah, sure. Because
Yeah, it's fun for the public.
Yes.
Because when I talked to them, they said, we don't have any record of anybody blocking the tracks. I'm like, it happens often. So, especially for fire, EMS,
That's
or police
right.
getting across in an event of emergency, we need to know if the tracks are blocked instead of running up to it and having to go a different direction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to see that Chief Tony's not here tonight, but I wanted to commend our firefighters for the the job that they do every day, and plus our police as well, but on the fire last week that happened over on North 6th Street, the challenges that they had by not having hydrants that were functioning or fully functioning is something we really need to look at as a council and make sure that we get these hydrants repaired as quickly as we can, because we are men and women. I'm not going to presume that there's not any women out there, but they need all the tools that they need to keep our city safe, as well as their own safety when they're on the job. But you guys did a terrific job getting that fire out, and I mean, it could have been much worse. Of course, for the people that own the building, no, it couldn't have got much worse. They lost their building, but it could have been an occupied home or something along that matter, and it could have been a much more dangerous situation. But
I know Jim has a lengthy list of, there's like 26 hydrants, not counting these two. No, Jim Cosby.
We are right now checking all the hydrants. Yes, there are 26 hydrants that need work. Presently, they may not all be broken, but we know 26 that we're going to replace or fix.
Yeah.
Presently.
now, do our
Fire department today, and they're going out, and also with the water, our water company, and they're checking all the hydrants for flow and also pressure. Because there's a big difference. Sometimes you may have a lot of pressure, but when you open up, you don't have the volume. They had 3 hydrants that really did not produce very much water for them to fight the fire, and they brought in a tanker truck. So we know of 26 right now for sure that we're going to do work on. And we'll replace them slowly, trying to do 1 a week right now to get them fixed. But
now, Jim, does the city or USW or the firefighters, who's actually testing the hydrants? Is it something that's done on a regular basis?
they're supposed to be checked every year, once a year, for flow and also pressure. And we discussed this in our budget study a little bit when we get on a little bit, saying that there's a big difference in problem, especially in the downtown area. There's a problem with flow. Pressure may not be high enough, but it usually is around 70 psi in that range, 60 to 70. But once you open up and not getting the flow, you could really be effectively fight fire. And that's something that we're talking about. It's not just a hydrant, it's the valves also that go in the area. That some of these, I think we have 20 some odd valves we're having to replace also. And in fact, several of these we're going to have to shut them down and do it at night, because we're going to have to close a large area of town of water, large blocks. And so we do, I think the 3 we're going to do it in the middle of the night, so not any inconvenience to you.
Okay.
We are moving forward with that. That's like I say, the best we can do right now is scheduled to do one a week. But like I say, the fire department is doing the north side right now, and they finished that this week. And Derek, with their water company, they just sent me a flow test they did on part of the south part of town, and we're checking that with flows. And I'll be glad to send you a copy of the report, but if you look at the volume of gallons per minute, which is very important, and you see the big difference in some of the fire gallons per minute, and that's something we're going to figure out whether it's a valve or a hydrant or what the problem is.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Jim.
Anything else? Okay, presentation of retirement watch to John Marshall Clift, Chickasha Fire Department. And forget who John Marshall was for a second.
I know he's not in uniform. hugs. What's the deal?
Thank you, Mark. Congratulations. I do have one other comment to make, and I was trying to figure out how to formulate, my thoughts as the mayor of the city of Chickasha, and I started thinking about like my council here and the people that volunteer for the council, and I really appreciate everybody's got different opinions. We all get along really well together, and I'm really feel honored to serve with you guys. Oscar's getting this scared look. But, it's been a true pleasure being the mayor of Chickasha and working with this council. It's really a lot of fun. We can be at total opposite polar ends of a subject, but yet we have a great time afterwards and just really seem to enjoy everybody's company. I just want to say how important it is to do that when you're volunteering for different boards. We'll be gaining hopefully a new council member this evening. Look forward to working with him. But I also want to say how much I appreciate the city staff and the work that they go through, and being in key spot for a short time, you really get to know the people, and you always wish the very best for all of them, and you wish all your employees were safe, and we will try to take care of them the best that we can as a council. What Dr. A said and what Zach said are things we'll take to heart. If we had an unlimited supply of money, we'd make a lot of changes if we could. But it goes beyond just, the city council members I enjoy working with and the staff members. We have other volunteer groups that, I talk to on a regular basis, and it's like the EDC and the chamber. And let's take the EDC, for example, the work they've done in changing the footprint of our downtown. When I became mayor in when I thought about being mayor in 2017, started that campaign process, I wanted to change the landscape of Chickasha. I really thought we could be a lot more than what we were. And one, we had to fix ourselves financially. That was a main goal of mine. And then I wanted to change the landscape of what we physically looked like. In some parts, I think we've done pretty good on. Downtown grant program, it's gotten millions upon millions of dollars of private investment into the city of Chickasha. Some of the grants now are working out to be an 8-to-1 or 9-to-1 match. And so I feel really accomplished about those certain things. There's other things I'd still like to keep working on. And I think as a council, we can start addressing these things. And a lot of this could be through the hard work of Rachel and her department, which is key to the workings of the city of Chickasha. Not that the other ones aren't, but there's some ordinances we've got to deal with that we've got to get up to the 2000s on some of the things that we have on the books, make them more modernized. But with the EDC, I appreciate the volunteers they have in their own group. They're on their board. And, they may take some heat every now and then, but, these are all volunteer positions, just like the council's all volunteer. You have our business leaders in the community. I mean, they volunteer their time and their employees to help out the city of Chickasha. And so really all I'm saying is how much I truly enjoy being in this position and leading our community to be better than what we have been. And sometimes we fail in doing something, I take it personally that we failed. But I know that working as a group with all the different organizations, as long as we stay banded together, we will have some great things coming to Chickasha, and I feel confident that's going to be taking place. So that's it.
Thank you.
So anyway, you guys are fun to be with. Item 4, consent docket.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call. Oh, yes, sir.
Before you adopt the consent agenda, item E shows the acceptance of Elaine Jensen as city treasurer. I wanted to introduce Elaine to the city council. She had not had a chance to meet you. Elaine, back here sitting by Mr. Brooks, is our new finance director and hopefully soon to be city treasurer. She comes to us from South Dakota with an outstanding background in local government and local government finance. We're excited to have her and feel like we're really lucky to get her. So please make yourselves known to her, and if there's anything we can do from a finance perspective, I will probably point you in her direction. Thank you. Elaine?
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Keith. Item 6A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to appoint a registered voter residing in Ward 2 to fill the vacancy created by Nate McCullough's resignation until the expiration of the current term in April 2024.
Mayor, I'm sorry. We need to take the roll call vote for the consent agenda, please.
Oh, we haven't done that? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
It was
Yeah,
my
I got a
interruption.
copy
I
of my motion.
apologize.
Roll call, please.
Ginn? Yes. Helbrathwaite?
Yes.
Grayson?
Yes.
Ashanti Alexander?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Mosley?
Yes. Okay, do you have to read 6A again? 6A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to appoint a registered voter residing in Ward 2 to fill the vacancy created by Nate McCullough's resignation until the expiration of the current term in April 2024.
I move that we appoint Rick Crosland of 2815 Briar Creek, Chickasha, Oklahoma, to Ward 2, Position 2, council member until expiration of current term in April 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Helbrathwaite?
Yes.
Grayson?
Yes.
Ashanti Alexander?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Ginn? Yes. Mosley?
Yes. When does he join us?
The
apparently?
city attorney will now give the oath.
All right.
Mr. Crosland, will you come up?
If you don't know, that's Rick Crosland. He's our school superintendent. And I thought anybody that wanted to be invested in the future of Chickasha, like our youth, he would be a key guy to have on the council. Can you have the abbreviated version?
Discharge the duties of my office
Hey. Y'all may know each other.
We might. I've heard of him, yes. Seen him a couple of times.
A couple times. Move on to, thanks, Rick. Moving on to 6B, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve a bench that has been donated, placed in Shannon Springs Park.
I move to approve a bench that has been donated, placed in Shannon Springs Park.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call?
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander,
Yes.
Crosland,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Hipplethwaite,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 6C, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve the expansion of the disc golf course for the redistributing of the existing 9 holes, or the redistributing of the existing 9 holes.
I move to approve the expansion of the disc golf course or the redistributing of the existing 9 holes.
Second?
Discussion? Gentlemen, you want to tell us what your plans are?
So, my name's Austin Bernson.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you very much for hearing us. My name's Austin Bernson. This is CJ Brunner. We represent Chickasha Disc Golf. We're out there most Saturdays doing our best to help the park. Disc golf's growing, and I think we both believe there's a need for the current amenity to be updated. Just some statistics. In 2015, there were 6,000 courses in the world. Now in 2023, there's over 14,000 courses. There were 4.3 courses installed per day in 2022. There was an island that went all in, spent $230,000, and 1 year after return on investment, they saw $1 million of growth in visitors coming into their country. Really, the biggest thing we want to hit on with this redesign is safety, especially with the city about to spend so much money on redoing all the sidewalks. We want to stop the intentional throwing of shots across sidewalks in the park. From what I've seen, that happens 4 times with the current layout. We want to eliminate that to 0. That's not to say it won't be completely eliminated, but like from a stray shot, but with things like safety signage and updates to those amenities, it would just make it safer for all the park users. We also definitely want to be flexible with the city. It's a very busy park. There's a lot of events going on. We don't want to come in and step on anyone's feet, but we just want to enhance what's there and utilize areas of the park that aren't as populated. Utilized. Thank you. And we also want to be like a volunteer corps for the park to help monitor what's going on, to help reduce what's the word?
Nonsense that may take place.
Vandalism. Vandalism is the word I'm looking for, and to help kind of police the park, help plant trees, help do anything that the city might find necessary to help improve the park. And we're trying to not only vouch for disc golf, but also help make the park a better amenity for everybody.
In addition to what Austin had said, Austin's the representing club secretary. I was the club secretary for 5 years, and then I got voted in as president, so I'm now acting president. I'm the old guy, but I can hold my own. I wanted to say that in the past 10 years that I've been a part of Shannon Springs Park, and specifically Chickasha Disc Golf, I've worked with 3 city managers and 3 Parks and Recreation Department directors. Spencer's been more than gracious to allow us to do anything, and our club representatives have all signed the necessary forms as volunteers. So from that standpoint, we're trying to adhere to the protocols associated with the requirements to be a volunteer. But we have literally picked up tons of trash in the last 10 years. And I know that because I can speak to being there every single Saturday, probably have missed maybe 10 Saturdays, maybe 15 Saturdays in the last 10 years. We're there every Saturday. And the club as a whole will pick up debris and trash, and we look for opportunities of ways to help out the Parks and Recreation Department. We were recently authorized to clean some debris down in the culvert area down there, and we had created 3 pretty large piles of debris for the Parks and Rec crew to pick up. And we're constantly taking the rocks that the kids put in the culvert area to dam it up because it's fun for them to create a dam, and we'll take that and put it back where it belongs to reduce erosion. And that's really an environmental thing, and Austin can speak more to that since he graduated as a landscape engineer. And also in the past 4 years, we've planted 26 trees in the park. Now, many of the trees have been removed from prior Parks and Recreation crews for whatever reason, disease or damage or for whatever reason. But if you're going to have a festival of lights 10 years from now, you're going to have to start planting some trees. Now, I know that many trees have been planted. Of the ones that we planted, 80% have survived for whatever reason. Kids have knocked them over, or they've been ran over by the lawnmowers, not intentionally. And we put the bench in that you just voted on, and that was all donated. And we would like to do other things for the park if it would be allowed by the city, as well as we'd like to pour some concrete slabs for T-pads, put in some extra baskets. Those I think you just voted on. And we would also like to do things like paint the bathrooms. I mean, that's good for Chickasha Disc Golf, but it's good for the park as well. So if the city would allow those type of activities, we have several volunteers, and as far as the concrete goes, we have guys that play in the club that are professional concrete pourers. So from that standpoint, the labor force is knowledgeable about the activities necessary to pour a good slab, I guess you could say. And then other things, maybe paint the railings, restripe the parking spaces. Those are all things that our guys are capable of doing and don't require a real heavy workload. So if we have your permission, we would like to work with Spencer and the council to accomplish some of those activities as well.
Okay. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Chris, you used to work with me and myself and Jack Weaver at the cemeteries.
Many years ago.
A few years ago.
As a grave digger.
As soon as you spoke, I said, I know him.
And then also Mr. Elliott. I don't know if you know Mr. Elliott, but he owns the property adjacent to
Yes.
the park.
Yeah, just on the west side.
Yeah, and he has allowed the club to put temporary baskets on his property, and we'll invite the guys down from Oklahoma City, and we'll have 50 guys playing as long as we're respectful of his property. He's always allowed that too, but I guess only reason I say that is because it demonstrates that we have a good relationship with our community as well. So
That's good.
thank you again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Any discussion?
Are the areas on the map here, the red areas, what is that? Is that?
That red area would be places in the park that would not be utilized by the disc golf course.
Okay.
So
would that be like for Festival Lights so that things wouldn't, I mean, that wouldn't, when the expansion part that you looked at, I mean, that wouldn't interfere with any of that?
It would not interfere with most of the day-to-day items, but during the month and a half that the Festival of Lights is set up, it might still be interfering some, but I think with the new layout, it would actually interfere less with the current layout of the Festival of Lights, because you can't hardly play hole 1 and 2, or especially hole 1, you can't really play it because of how
They're setting the lights up, all of the ornaments and such.
yeah, especially with the Ferris wheel and things, so moving the tee pad over would give more access to the basket. It wouldn't be a perfect solution since most of the park is utilized for that event, but it would help mitigate some of that. And
Pretty much from November to February, we and our club has to be real strategic about where we play because we can't really interfere, and we don't want to interfere, because that's a good draw for Chickasha. It's good for Chickasha.
yes.
Okay.
Anybody else? All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call?
Ashanti Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 6D, discussion, consideration, and possible action to renew the police department's video surveillance and audio maintenance contract with Travis Voice and Data for an amount not to exceed $3,211.95.
I move that we recommend the renewal of the maintenance contract with Travis Voice and Data and authorize interim chief music to execute the same.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashanti Alexander,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 6E, discussion, consideration, and possible action to renew the police department's yearly maintenance contract with Motorola Solutions not to exceed $35,862.78.
I move to approve the renewal of the annual maintenance fee, not to exceed $35,862.78 with Motorola Solutions.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call?
Nelson,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashanti Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 6F, discussion, consideration, and possible action to surplus and destroy 2 police department tasers.
I move to take action to surplus and destroy 2 police department tasers.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Gann,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashanti Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 6G, discussion, consideration, and possible action to declare a surplus the attached list of antiquated technology equipment and authorize disposal as deemed appropriate by the city manager pursuant to city ordinances.
I move that we approve the declaration of surplus for the attached list of items and authorize the disposal as deemed appropriate by the city manager.
Second.
Any discussion? This is all the stuff from the changeover from Windows 3.1 to now. All right, there you go. Okay, roll call?
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashanti Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 6H, I'd like to open a public hearing to discuss and consider the zoning special exemption to allow equines and goats to be located at 2420 South 24th Street for applicants Davina and Roosevelt May. Did I pronounce that right? Okay. I have 707. This is for anybody who wants to speak for or against zoning change. Yes, sir. Come on up.
I'm John Holt with my daughter Tara. I live in front of that property. My daughter lives beside the property to the south. We read the Planning Commission's deal, and we were of the understanding that they were wanting to put goats and horses behind the house property, which are 7.5 acres. Which we didn't object to that. We read today, though, they're wanting 7.5 acres approved today, and then furthermore, 7.5 acres, which would be the front property, approved at a later date, from what we understand based on what we're reading. We had no objection to the back being horses and goats or whatever they wanted, because that's nowhere, it can't be seen or smelt from the houses. What we don't want them is right up front. That's a beautiful yard and it makes our area real pretty. So unless we're misunderstanding what we just read.
Okay, good, Rachel.
Okay, so it looks like there was a surveying issue. So they first applied, and that first letter that went out only included the first parcel, because it's actually 2 parcels of land, so they will have to go through this process twice. Because their closing is contingent on this, they chose to move forward with just this parcel first. If this parcel passed, then they would move forward with the next parcel in the back. So the plan would be to, yes, put them in the back, but they only applied for the first parcel ahead of time because they were only given the legal description for the first part. But they are purchasing both pieces, and the plan is to put them in the back.
So in the meantime, though, so in Wednesday, their goat's gonna be.
I think that line, and I have not been out there, so y'all might know better than me, but I was told that property line, there might be a fence that's a little, there's room to put them in the back still once this approval passes, and then they'll come back before planning and city council.
There's no fence at the moment, so.
Oh, there's no fence.
They would be wandering through the entire property, which would mean into our property and into John's property. There's no fence.
There is a small, like a, not a huge fence, but like a 3-foot, like a little white fence.
Sure, you have a picture of where you're
Yes, I
going.
do.
Okay.
There's no fence.
Please bring that up.
It's just one big old.
So I have
Okay.
pictures for that we have, they'll be 7 acres away from any homeowner. They'll be by the railroad waterway. I hope you can read my notes here.
But declare,
This is for the front part, right? This is for the front part? Thank you. No, that's what she just said. This is for the
so
front part,
today,
right?
today,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
That's
And
what
then
we-
they
that's
will
what
be
we
required
are-
to do this in the back because they won't have the acreage with the house.
No goats on the back part. There'll be 7 acres from you. You're the one that applies to, according to the rules of the council. They're gonna be 7 acres away from your property.
But if I understand this correctly, this
And
applies to the front of the
I
property.
know, if you go to the, other side, there's cows, you go to the,
This is
west
right
side,
here?
there's horses.
Yeah, we're gonna have any problem
There's
behind it.
nothing, you're gonna.
One horse.
Okay, but where's the acreage they're wanting to do
what I
it
was
here?
And I mean, and that came in your mouth, so.
Is this the front property though?
I like it.
I am.
Yeah.
The zone is talking about the front 7.5 acres, right, which is what
So
lines
I was
up
told that she had, she.
Hey, Rachel, the council's got several questions and such.
Why don't we
Looking
let-
at the property.
Why don't we let the Holts finish their public hearing, and then maybe y'all sit down and then y'all can speak after them, just so we have some order.
Okay, you want me to? Okay, great. When I'm looking at the house, you're talking about, we're looking at zoning the east side where the home is?
So
So-
looking at zoning the
Can you,
west
can you
side.
show, can you come up here and show me where that is? Okay.
So, the Crawford home is here,
I'd like to see the picture.
right here. And so, right here, I have it'll be like the railroad. So,
Okay.
we are 7 acres away from anyone that was going to get affected. And I'd also like to say that these are very, she's part of CASA, and they are doing the therapy. They are vaccinated
So, but the part where's the property that we're zoning now?
Okay, so, good question, very good question.
We are zoning the front right now. This is
Just
for
the
the front.
east
because
side of the house is
They
what
did
we're
not
doing right
provide a
now.
legal description for the back parcel as of yet. They would have to go through this process again, to be clear.
Is this where the house is at right
Yes.
now?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna keep the goats, we're having a circle.
So
Okay,
that's the area I'm.
but we're zoning.
Yes, sir.
So where they're gonna keep them, what we're zoning, maybe two
Right,
different
are they
things.
bringing animals while they're rezoning everything, or?
We're trying to do everything by the book. These are therapy animals, just remember CASA.
Uh-huh.
And they're used for TSA, they're from Texas. They do that there, they're helping move them here. So that is, it's gonna be 7 acres away from anybody that's involved.
Their animals have never left their property. They've been cleared by the vet. They're vaccinated. They only eat goat food. They've never had anything other than goat food and horse food.
Where, are they trying to bring them now of the rezoning, like
So
the
we're
close?
supposed to close on the property on Wednesday.
Okay,
They just sold their house today.
okay,
So they've been cleared by the vet as long as you guys approve this.
okay. Are they looking into, here's what I don't understand is, you're talking back here in the back, so there's like 18 acres there, right?
No, it's
15.
15?
15
Okay, so there's like 15 acres there. Is the divider north and south, or is it some odd line? I mean,
It's not an outline.
so where's parcel one? Where's the parcel we're looking at?
So, you know
Because our
what?
picture's kind of
I'm
blanked out.
married to a land surveyor, so
But didn't they say that,
So I think, like, this is just what I think is going on. So you, yeah, this way is what we're voting on now. This is
they
what
want
we're
that back there, yeah. And they're concerned about
Which they are
against this, for that, yeah.
Okay, so are they putting them right here?
I think that's.
So parcel one would include the house
So
and
is
the
this,
pool?
I'll walk over here and draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
So
so,
that's John's house, this is Eric's house right here, okay? Right? What they're trying to zone right now would be the first 7
Right.
houses.
This is his house right here.
hey, Rachel, can you come up here for a second? I'm really confused.
Okay.
Yeah, I need, Rachel,
We're fine if they want to put them back in
Back
this
to the
area.
back side.
Put 'em-
yeah.
keep 'em back.
Rachel, can you address the council on specifics? Thank you.
I'll be happy to answer.
I'm gonna have
They're saying, I
Rachel
guess
speak
they're
real
gonna put the
quick.
goats back there, but then they're
That helped a
saying
lot.
they're gonna do part of it now. that they
which
come back.
you guys don't have any problem with that.
I'm like, it just needs, to me, needs to clarify.
It's this part.
I'm fine with this. The part that doesn't touch anybody else's land.
You're applying for this zone right
Okay.
This one's really applied for that.
You're applying for this zone right now. You're trying to sneak this in when what you want to do.
Then council, gotcha.
I don't want to violate any state.
This, I am fine with
Okay.
this.
You gotta reapply for that, Sherry.
I am not, I am fine with this. I am fine with this. I don't want goats around.
Public hearing, and then the Holtzkin has their questions, and they have,
Oh, sorry.
purpose of public hearing.
Oh my, you haven't seen that.
Okay. Okay, all right, we'll take a look at it here in a second with Rachel. We'll
this is what
close
we're voting on,
the
but this
public
is what-
hearing.
Right,
So,
right.
Anyway, we don't want to fight with our new neighbors at all. That is not what we're trying to do. If the goats are going to be back where they showed me on the map, I have no problem with that.
okay,
But if they're going to be up here where the house is, that is a problem.
okay,
That's how I feel.
okay,
And this is, we were cut from there, so that's why we're here.
okay.
From the back area, we've never shown up.
Yeah, we were from the understanding that was gonna be from behind that pond and all that.
Okay,
Fine.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, thank you, guys.
Okay, so to clarify, today, this is a zoning special exemption for the property that the house and the pond are sitting on.
Okay.
They only provided the legal description for that parcel, the owners did. They are aware they're going to have to do this process again for the back 7.5 acres, and that's the plan for where they want to put the animals. They're probably gonna have to do both, because the animals, in theory, they're gonna be transported and moving along. I don't exactly, since there is no fence, there's probably gonna be, I couldn't delineate that on a legal description. I mean, I can't make sure they're gonna put the fence exactly where we want them to put it, so that's why we did both areas. But
Okay.
today, and they wanted to move forward and not have to republish, because they have to be 21 days in the paper before we have the first public hearing at the Planning Commission, and they wanted to know if this would pass for closing purposes.
Okay,
So they wanted to move forward instead of having to republish because they gave me the wrong legal address. So, so they had to do this anyway, but they'll come back, should this pass, and do the back half.
So they have to go before planning commission all over again?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
And
back
then
before
post it for
council
21
again.
days again, notify, okay.
Yeah, for the other half. So, they found this out after, I think, a week before the planning commission. They realized that this was wrong, and we had already been in the paper for 21 days, and they had already delayed their closing. So we
Okay.
decided to move forward with just this portion. But I do think the long-term goal is to put them in the back, yes. But today you are approving where the house and the pond sit.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and close the public hearing at 7:18. Move on to item 6I. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve the zoning special exemption for equines and goats to be located at 2420 South 24th Street for applicants Davina and Roosevelt May.
I just don't, the wording of it, so as long as it's not, directly touching anybody else's property, and then it's, said that it's going to be on the back acres or whatever, the wording is just kind of, that leaves it kind of open. That's my only fear here.
Right. If the legal address that was published is only for that front portion, so I'm not exactly sure if they drew out the parcels for you, but I know that they showed you. The legal address really is his front boundary, so it really cuts, I don't know how many feet behind the pond, but if you're looking on the map where that pavement ends, that's really the end. If you draw a little rectangle, that's the end of that 7.5 first acre.
Okay.
Acres. And so the other 7.5 is gonna be that triangle piece to the railroad tracks.
Okay. So the 7.5 is the square. It looks like it's groomed and fenced.
Yes.
And the other is the remaining portion to the west and to the north?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can that be made temporary?
Pardon?
Can you do it temporary if they're looking to come back with the second?
This has to pass for, the other one, it's a whole different legal description, it's a whole different parcel of land.
Well, I'm saying on this first one here, can you make it temporary that if we do approve something like that, will allow them time to get the other one set up, but force them also to follow up with the remaining 7.5 acres?
That would be a legal question. I don't know.
Well, here's the deal, if you approve this, then.
Once you approve
It's
the
done. No
special
clawback.
exemption,
Yeah,
you've
there's no
approved a
drawback.
special exemption.
Yeah.
You know, if you've approved it as a special exemption, it's not temporary.
Okay.
But if they close on the property, even if they get the other property, say 10 years down the road, if they sell, then whoever has it next can go ahead and put the animals wherever they want,
It's only to the owner.
only to this owner.
Yes.
So if they sold it, they.
It's a special exemption, yeah.
But then by the same token, if they decided they needed more room than the 7.5 acres, they could also put them in the front.
They're gonna be required. I'm planning to put them on the June planning commission docket should this pass. They're gonna be required to do this other portion.
But the front portion though, if we approve it tonight, when you put the other one on the docket, do we remove it on the front portion where they are not allowed to have animals on the front 7.5? I realize
I
that.
think we could put some language in there that repealed it. I'd have to talk to Amanda or Debbie about that. Legally. I think council has the policing power to do those things, but I'm not exactly sure how that would work. I think the reality is that I don't know exactly the line where the animals are gonna be kept, so that's why I wanted to include both. Because again, there is no fence currently.
Yeah. Well, you can string a hot wire real quick, but maybe those are outlawed in city limits, I don't know. But
I do believe they are using them for therapy and they are pets, so.
yeah, and they also eat a lot. 15 acres won't hold 4 horses.
Isn't it on in our ordinances that if you have over an acre or so, that you can have like one livestock, like Seems like when my daughter was looking to purchase some property here in town, there was approximately 2 acres with it. And I think I called, and I think she could have 1.5 horses, the way the acreage broke down. Is that,
You can, but you still have to get a zoning special exemption unless you are zoned agriculture.
okay, so, but this 7.5 acres, will that be within those guidelines with the 4 horses and the goats?
I believe so.
Okay.
They're pretty loose for the goats.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? We don't have a motion yet.
Oh, I guess we need a motion so we can vote, don't we? Move that we enter into a motion for consideration to approve zoning special exemption for equines and goats to be located at 2420 South 24th Street for applicants Davina and Roosevelt May.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion?
Oh, snap.
Roll call.
Grayson,
No.
Groslin,
No.
Nelson,
No.
Ginn,
No.
Ebblethwaite,
No.
Shantae Alexander,
No.
and Mosley.
No. Item 6J, discussion, consideration, and possible action to renew a contract with Civic Plus for the City of Chickasha's website, an amount not to exceed $8,372.02, and authorize the mayor to execute the same.
A move to take action to renew a contract with Civic Plus for the City of Chickasha's website in the amount not to exceed $8,372.02, and authorize the mayor to execute the same.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call.
Shantae Alexander,
Yes.
Groslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 6K, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve the renewal of medical and dental insurance plans of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Move that we approve the renewal of medical insurance with Blue Cross and Blue Shield Advantage Plan and the renewal of dental insurance with the Blue Cross Blue Shield Dental with a presented change in funding.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Groslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Shantae Alexander,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. 6L, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve the renewal of vision insurance with MetLife.
I move to renew vision insurance with MetLife on the current plan.
Second?
All right, any discussion? Roll call.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Shantae Alexander,
Yes.
Groslin,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. 6M, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve a contract with Stanley Systems for email services and authorize the city manager to execute the same.
I move that we approve a contract with Stanley Systems for email services and authorize the city manager to execute the same.
Second.
Any discussion?
So they're not currently our email provider?
I think they are, aren't they?
Well, they do a lot of our technology. This is
Yeah.
probably above what their normal contract calls for, right?
Right, they're our current provider, this is a continuation of that.
Can't take him anywhere.
So they are currently our
Yeah.
email provider?
Yeah, they provide, they do all of our
Yeah.
technology.
.org ones.
What's that?
They run our city emails.
Yeah,
don't
they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a problem, they call Stanley's.
Well, I thought they did, but then it just sounded like we were merging it over to a different,
Is this dealing with the new AT&T and all?
This,
Because I know voice over IP is next.
Goes to the Microsoft 365 platform that we're going to.
oh, God.
Okay. All right. Roll call?
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. 6N, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve a contract with Stanley Systems for Unified Communication Services, Voice over IP.
I move to take action to approve a contract with Stanley Systems for Unified Communication Services, VoIP.
Second.
Discussion? And Tracy, this goes back to you and I having a discussion about 2 years ago almost. How much of a savings are we looking at by this change a month?
We're currently paying over $13,000 a month. This will cut back to about $3,500.
So about $120,000 found, okay. And there's also, that includes the internet savings that we'll have also on top of that, correct?
This will just be the voice over IP
Voice over
phone
IP.
system. but
I'm
yeah.
sorry, because what, are we, I guess we're totally integrated with AT&T now
Yeah.
on the internet? Okay,
We will be, but yes.
okay. All right. Roll call?
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. 6O, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve the request from the Chickasha Chamber of Commerce for a decorated ATV motorcycle bicycle parade through Shannon Springs Park on July 4th, 2023 at 8 p.m.
I move that we approve the Chamber of Commerce request to conduct a decorated ATV motorcycle bicycle parade through Shannon Springs Park on July 4th, 2023 at 8 p.m., contingent upon the execution of an indemnification agreement, providing the certificate of liability insurance, adding the city of Chickasha as additional insured.
Second.
I guess the ducks can join in if they like, since I can't
There
talk.
you go. Any discussion? Roll call.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. 6P, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve a request from the Chickasha Elks Lodge number 2125 to conduct a fishing tournament for children at Shannon Springs Park on Saturday, June 3rd, 2023, from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and waive any associated fees.
I move to approve a request from the Chickasha Elks Lodge number 2125 to conduct a fishing tournament for children at Shannon Springs Park on Saturday, June 3rd, 2023, from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and waive any associated fees.
Second?
Any discussion? It's going to be a busy day in Chickasha. Roll call?
Ashante Alexander,
Yes.
Roslin,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebblethwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve a change in bank signatories to Chris Mosley, Mayor, Zach Grayson, Vice Mayor, Elaine Jensen, Finance Director, and Susan McDaniel, City Clerk, to all accounts held by the City of Chickasha, Chickasha Municipal Authority, Chickasha Municipal Airport Authority, Chickasha Industrial Authority, or any subsidiary or entity of the governing body of the City of Chickasha has possession of at the following banks: First National Bank, Simmons Bank, Arvest Bank, Community Bank of Oklahoma, and Liberty National Bank.
I move to approve a change in bank signatories to Chris Mosley, Mayor, Zachary Grayson, Vice Mayor, Elaine Jensen, Finance Director, and Susan McDaniel, City Clerk, to all accounts held by the City of Chickasha, Chickasha Municipal Authority, Chickasha Municipal Airport Authority, Chickasha Industrial Authority, or any subsidiary or entity of the governing body of the City of Chickasha has possession of at the following banks: First National Bank, Simmons Bank, Arvest Bank, Community Bank of Oklahoma, and Liberty National Bank.
Second?
Any discussion?
Can you clarify what the change is?
Yeah, we're
Adding a line, yeah.
Okay,
New signature cards.
updating names is all.
okay.
Anything else? Roll call?
Crosland,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebelthwaite? Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 7, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
We're adjourned. I'd like to call the order of the Chickasha Municipal Authority. Roll call, please.
Nelson,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
Ebelthwaite,
Here.
Grayson,
Here.
Ashante Alexander.
Here.
Crosland,
Here.
Mosley.
Here. Item 2, consent docket.
Move to accept as presented.
So moved.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebelthwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander.
Yes.
Crosland,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 4A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to authorize staff to solicit RFQs for CMA-2303 Chickasha Water Treatment Plant Improvements Project.
I move to authorize staff to solicit RFQs for CMA 2303 Chickasha Water Treatment Plant Improvements Project.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ebelthwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander.
Yes.
Crosland,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 4B, discussion, consideration, and possible action to authorize the purchase of a 2015 Ford F-550 sewer jet flusher truck in amount not to exceed $112,000.
I move that we authorize the purchase of a 2015 Ford F-550 sewer jet flusher truck in the amount not to exceed $112,000.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call?
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander.
Yes.
Crosland,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebelthwaite,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 5, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
Adjourn. I'd like to call to order the Chickasha Municipal Airport Authority. Roll call, please.
Nelson,
Here.
Ginn,
Here.
Ebelthwaite,
Here.
Grayson,
Here.
Ashante Alexander.
Here.
Crosland,
Here.
Mosley.
Here. Item 2, consent docket.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ginn,
Yes.
Ebelthwaite,
Yes.
Grayson,
Yes.
Ashante Alexander.
Yes.
Crosland,
Yes.
Mosley.
Yes. Item 4, motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Adjourn.